I just listened to. Go ahead. We'll talk about it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good evening, welcome, salutations, bienvenidos. This is the Four Bad Boy Podcast. I'm with D Roundel, host of Chopping It Up. We're gonna talk about his first episode in a second. He's gonna drop some knowledge for you. And on this episode, we are Horatio will be on tonight because the Heat won. We're also gonna talk about Uvalde 1 year later, the greatest power forwards of all time. Maybe might throw in some Celtics talks for those fans. Just to figure out what are y'all going to do with your team? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What bus rides? Gotta be your body play. Gotta be a trade. So it'll be a trade. And of course, our party shot. This party show, Danny would say, "Let's go."
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Boys, yeah. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We them boys.
As you know, we're a show of sponsors. We need sponsors to make this show run, but yet we don't have any sponsors, and the show's still running. I don't know what to tell you that, but we make it do what it do, baby.
That's what it is.
Of course, we're on Sundays and Wednesdays, 9:05. Crazy short straws. If you crazy, you got a straw. You got crazy straws. Be your own business owner. Hey, talk your shit. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Just for men, I'm not ready yet to use that because I don't want to mess up my hands on my clothes. But if you are in that life, just go ahead and go buy CVS or Walgreens, get your box for like $8.37. All right, and next to that, or the men's section, but just for men, you get that Dax waving room. Get that Dax waving room right there.
Yeah. Now you looking good, man.
Yeah, baby, gotta get a lineup this weekend. I just had a haircut the other day. Had to play at a wedding. Gotta get another lineup. So I gotta look like somebody every now and then. So
Ain't no wrong with that, brother.
this Damon, one of Damon's sponsors right here. Tell them about it, Damon.
Well, Arizona iced tea. I suggest you water it down. It's still gonna try to. It still may get you, and it is liquid diabetes. I think this might be the last week they tired of me going off on it, but hey, it is what it is. And it's been $1 since 1974. So, you know what I'm saying,
And it
Paige?
is true. I showed them, but yeah, I took a picture for you at
Oh, most
Walgreens
definitely. Most definitely. It's still $1, bro. $1. You want to know why it's $1, Fade?
because it called diabetes.
Yeah, and your hospital bill gonna be add about 7 zeros behind. That's gonna be your hospital bill after you drink it.
Yeah. So just
You know,
matter of fact, just go one section over to the Dasani water. Just go
there you
one
go.
section.
So my suggestion, if you want to drink it, have a gallon of water sitting next to a 20-ounce bottle. That'll dilute it to where it be feasible.
So what I'm gonna do next time in Walgreens or somewhere that sell Arizona tea in the can, I'm gonna take a screenshot of the ingredients.
And take a screenshot of the sugar level.
The sugar level. That's yeah. Apple juice is not even that sweet compared to Arizona tea.
Not at all. And I love apple juice. Not at all.
You still got to cut that down with water.
Not at all.
Of course, you follow on YouTube and the Facebook, as old folks say. Find. I'm gonna give me a second. I gotta get. Let me get through these sponsors before I bring this OJ on the. Let me just go ahead and bring OJ on. BuyNightShirt.com. I can't. I can't. BuyNightShirt.com. You guys paraphernalia, go ahead and get it. Of course, like I said, Damon Show, first episode drop. Check it out. D Rondo's page. Damon, tell us a little bit about it.
Hey man, we dropped the first episode, chopping it up with D Rondo, a virtual barbershop experience. Go check it out. You can go on my on the podcast page, D Randall, like that page. We're gonna put some more stuff out. Got some more episodes I'm recording. But that first one was a doozy, baby. First one was a doozy. My mama listened to it. She was like, "Yeah, I like what you said." So if I got a woman that's saying that, we
Just just support my man. Give us a follow. Give him 1,000 followers so he can start monetizing it. Give him over 100 views and start getting some ads so he can start making some money. Ooh, Damon got money.
need to make that money.
Somebody get some ass. Who gets some ass? Oh, Fade.
ADS.
Who getting ass? I heard something about ass.
No, it was
Ain't
ad.
nobody getting that? Oh, you say ass?
Advertisement.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mike.
OJ, I'm in the building, Fade. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Let me sing this song for you, Fade. I just can't give up now. I come too far from where I started from. What's that part, Fade? Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. God damn. What happened?
You stop, Fade. I really hate Mike Atwater, bro. I don't know.
Hey, look how he looking too, Damon. He looking at me like, man, I am so confused about what just happened.
Bro, you know what he looking like? He looking like 1996 when you do something stupid, and that's the only look you can give you.
And that's the look he would give me too. And then eventually he'll start laughing. But he'll give me that look like, man, me and Fade may be on the air on a TV show, and he would give me that look, man.
Fade want to laugh so bad right now, it's killing me. He trying to be professional. I can't help it, bro. You dumb.
I got another one for you, Fade. He's an old time God. Yes, he.
Oh man.
I was hoping you would keep going so I can go to my freezer to get my alcohol.
I'm gonna be quiet.
No, I ain't say stop. I just needed a moment so I could get some alcohol.
Oh, you didn't say stop. Okay.
Okay.
Hey Mike.
Hey, Mike. All right.
Hey,
We got one more
man.
sponsor. We got one more sponsor. Y'all. We got one more sponsor. Henny and Coke, Crown Royal XO and Ginger Ale. Darkly Plus.
Down with that Henny and Coke.
Guys, how's it been, man? How's it been? How's your week?
I'm out of school. 190-day employees are done. You 220s aren't.
No, we're not.
My bad, Fate. I really didn't mean to rub that in, bro. My bad.
Hey, see how he act? He's out of school.
My bad, Fate. That slipped. That really slipped, cuz.
He want to tease you because he's out. He's out of school.
G-O-D, because I'm down with G-O-D.
Just some news to look out for. Let's get a little bit serious. Little news to look out forward to. You might be seeing the Fort Valley boys at homecoming this year.
Oh man,
Mike, I forgot to call you, but more news forthcoming once we get confirmation.
Yeah, I've been seeing the email.
I talked to her yesterday.
Is Lamar gonna be that David man?
No,
he's not. Oh, okay, all right.
Hey man, that's good news, home. We can't, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
So be on the lookout. I'll have confirmation probably give it about a month once they talk to the alumni chapter or whatever, see what they can do. We might be in the tailgate area, so we'll find out. So once I get some more details of confirmation, the Fort Valley boys will be at homecoming this year.
Hey man, take off on that Friday too, man. I'm gonna take out that Friday too. I ain't gonna referee or nothing.
Yes,
I'm coming.
If Fade do it, Fade won't do it, man. Fade might not get out of Saturday night at 10 o'clock. That's some stuff he'll do too.
Y'all act like I live in Detroit. I live 30 minutes from Fort Valley.
I'm actually me and my wife were talking about. We gonna leave early Friday morning, maybe even Thursday night. So we coming down Friday.
Mike, we only get 3 personal days, man. We only get 3 personal days. I'm trying to save them jokers.
You only get 3 personal days?
Yeah, we only get 3 personal days.
Man, we get 12.
Man,
Man,
Well, here's what it is. Did you get a chance to see the news, Mike?
what new? I'm in the practice.
Oh, well, I'm gonna let Faye bring that up. Let Faye bring it up.
that'd be my parting shot.
Well,
But
I'm gonna wait then. I'm gonna let Faye bring it up because I know he got a lot to say about that.
we got a lot of show to get to, but of course this show is not just sports. We are pop culture and the culture. Right now, of course, we are 1 year removed from Uvalde shooting. Me, Mike, Horatio, we're in education. We have to deal with active shooter drills and fire drills and students and all this type of stuff, and it's becoming almost numbing to hear about another shooting or mass shootings, anything like that. And once Horatio get on, I know he's gonna have a different thought as an administrator. His thoughts on a year later, what has changed as far as Uvalde, what processes need to happen. Mike, from your end as a teacher, what has your thoughts been a year later from Uvalde?
My thoughts is I pray every day that it never happens to me, my students, and my school. The thing that's so crazy and so sad about today's society, there used to be places that you could go where you didn't have to worry about violence. There's nowhere on earth right now that you can go and not think there can't be violence. People have been shot in grocery stores, schools, churches. About 6-7 years ago, 50-something people get killed at a concert. It's nowhere you can go now. So my thing about the Uvalde stuff, of course, it's all sad. Any shooting is sad, especially in this shooting of senseless shootings like that. We just had a senseless shooting, what was January, February in, I think, Memphis, Tennessee, and they was able to get in there quicker. The thing about school shooting, I feel like the more they happen, the better prepared school systems can be. And that might be a bad thing to say, but if you think about it, when stuff happens, we're prepared better after things have happened. But every day as a teacher, and not just me, man, I pray for everybody in the school system, because you never know. You can never have that moment no more and be like, it's not gonna happen to me. You can never say that anymore. But I think what needs to happen, we got to get better security in the school systems. But more importantly, man, that something that is going under the radar. We've got to do a better check of checking people with mental health in America. We got to maybe have to go back to mental hospitals. There's a lot of mental hospitals over the last 10, 15 years have closed because of the Ombudsman Act. We got to reevaluate our mental health system with people out here. We've got to do a better job on that. How that can happen, I don't know. But that's where it starts. We got to do a better job of getting our mental health under control, and we got to do a better job of gun control. And if we can do that, then a lot of these shootings can go down.
I know Shot might have this in his black thought. I don't know what his black thought is. We don't tell him what our party shots are going to be. I hope I'm not stepping on his toes on this. I'm gonna say him last though. I want to go to Tony, then Damon, then Shot. So like Uvalde 1 year later.
I mean, sad to say, no, I don't really think a whole lot's changed. No, we still have, had quite a few, saying mass shootings, since. The gun control talk is not really gaining any traction. So it's sad to say, man. I really don't see much changing on that front. I will, kind of, piggyback off of Atwater a little bit as far as mental health. Mental health is huge, man. It's huge. We don't do enough for people who struggle with that aspect of their life. Definitely need more programs and more people out on the streets, trying to help people that suffer from mental health. And that would help, not just senseless violence and, things of this nature, but, a lot of homelessness is because of mental health, as well. So, definitely, man, it's something that needs to be at the forefront of the solution as far as, trying to work something out for mental health and getting more programs going, to help people out with those issues.
All right. D Rondo.
I think it starts with mental health because if you really look at it, the last mass shootings in schools, the shooter is the one they said had mental problems. And Uvalde 1 year later, it really hasn't. I'm with Tony. It really hasn't changed. It seems that it's gotten worse. The things that's happening to the babies, the little kids. You've seen high schoolers shoot up a high school and all that, but now you got grown people, grown men, grown women, whatever. They going to shoot little kids, little babies, and that's to me where the mental issues hit home the most. It's got to be something. Don't know what it is. I'm with Atwater on that. Don't know what can be done. It's mental health. It's gun control. It's everything falls into one place because it hasn't ceased. It seems it's steady going. Seems like it's getting worse. And Uvalde a year later, you would think that some change would be made considering what happened. But you, as that event passed on and it got a little older, more events similar has happened. And I mean, Faye, you, Mike, and Shot, y'all got a heck of a job on your hands because you gotta be protective of not only yourself, but you protective of the children in the school. So yeah, that could be taxing on y'all as well. You don't know who gonna walk in, you don't know what child got something going on. It does fall in the mental health big time to me. But as far as what's going on a year later, it's the same thing. You still got people able to get guns and they're going to shoot up schools for whatever reason it may be. It's still going on, and it doesn't seem like anybody is doing anything to solve that issue.
Mr. Major. I think he's might be driving right now. We'll come back to him on down in just a minute.
I breathe.
Mike, I'll say, what is a shot?
I think you froze for a hot second. Shot.
Uh,
You might have fell out.
He might be a bounty hunter or a ninja. Shit. Faye don't froze up. Faye don't went to sleep.
There you go. That's the dude we know. There you go.
Faye knocked out on the show.
Fly hosing things and slanging things.
Slang and thing.
I think the network pulled fade plug.
Yeah,
They need to pull that string too.
So there you go.
We all good now. At least I see everybody.
Let me do it like this. Yeah, Shot, what's your Uvalde 1 year later? What's your thoughts right now?
So let me tell you how bad this is. So, I think I came on right when Atwater was talking, and I didn't understand what he was saying. And then you said something about Uvalde, And my first reply was, I think Tony even said it. My first reply was, well, which one was that? That's how bad it's gotten. I said, which one was Uvalde? Oh, wait a minute. That's the one in Texas. No, not Michigan. That's the one in Texas. Oh, not New Jersey? No, not New Jersey. The one in Texas. Well, wait a minute. It wasn't another one just in Texas? No, the one a year later. That's what my mind was saying. That's how many school shootings we've had. We've had over 300, if I'm not mistaken, school shootings since the first one in 1999 at Columbine High, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Since then, we've had over 300 school shootings. I'm going to pause so that could sink in. The first one, massacre was in 1999. 24 years later, we've had over 300. Not one law has changed since that first shooting. So Atwater made a comment that we get better with each one. It's been over 300. It's been over 300. We still haven't had one law change for gun control dealing with the schools. We beefed up security a little bit. There's not one school in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach County that have metal detectors. We've somewhat increased our security by having school police officers on campus, and we have a guardian angel, that we call them, that on campus. None of them are armed with an automatic rifle. So, the school shooting that happened in Michigan, and again, I don't know which one because it's been over 300 of them. I can't tell you which one. I can just tell you about the first one because that stuck in my head. I remember Sandy Hook because I know that that was in New Jersey. That's all I got. That's all I can remember. And of course, the one that happened down here, Parkland, that happened down the street. I'll never forget that day. But what's changed? When the school shooting happened in Michigan, I remember when that shooting happened in Michigan, and the shooter did what he did and then surrendered and went to jail. That was the moment I realized that probably before I retired from the school system, I will probably be a part of a school shooting.
Man, don't say no shit like that.
I've already come to grips with that. Like you said, Edwater, earlier, it was like, not us, or the chance of it happening to you is slim, and you don't think it happened to you. At some point, you got to realize that we're in a profession that should probably be providing combat pay. That's what it is. How is this any different than a police officer that goes out in the street, or a male person that got to go to different yards worrying about a dog? At some point, you realize, you know what? This is probably part of the occupational hazard. That's sad. That's sad. I deal with I can't say that part. I deal with disgruntled parents on a daily basis. So
see, that's the crazy part. A lot of these shootings, it don't even be disgruntled parents. It be former students or students of the school. That's what's crazy. Sandy Hook, I think the kid that did the guy that did the killing in Sandy Hook, I think his mama or grandmama, somebody taught at the school.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't want to hold this part, but like y'all said earlier, all of y'all mentioned mental health. So if you are a person that's suffering from some type of mental illness, and I am a big advocate of helping people of all races with mental health. But if you're dealing with something and you have, quote unquote, the devil of bad intentions, then the school has become the target. If you're a wolf and you looking for, something to mess up, you go to the sheep. What place is the least protected with the most vulnerable people? A school.
But then let me present this question to y'all. We talk about we want something done about gun control, and we've talked about mental health. What can we do? What can be done? What can be done in America about the gun laws or gun control? Because while we are advocate for better gun control laws or better laws with dealing with guns, you got them people on the other end like, hey, I'm not trying to give up my guns. So I'm just curious from hearing from everybody, what would you do about mental health here in America? What would you do about the gun control in America?
Gun control gonna be the
answer.
hardest one, man. Gun control gonna be the hardest one because you got the traditionalists who believe in that Second Amendment, and they're not going to be the ones that want to change that. That's gonna be the toughest one, in my opinion. Horatio brought up a good one that over 300 school shootings, bro, and then the one here tripped me out so tough is that when he turned himself in, his parents ran. And they still had signs in his book bag and all the stuff that he was writing, he was drawing. They had signs 3 days previous before he even actually did the shooting. And they never did. Well, let me take that back. His mama never did none because the father was the one that was actually trying to take the gun. But once they was getting ready to charge them, they ran. He turned himself in, they ran. So it's really, to me, going back to it's going to be the gun control, because a lot of people, they going to tell you, you really don't find out that the mental health aspect comes until either during or after the shooting happens. A family member comes out and says, well, we found out he had real bad mental problems, or he was bipolar, or he was schizophrenic. All that comes out after the fact. I think the toughest fight is going to be the gun control. Because they're going to have that mental aspect of it. We don't really know how you're going to be able to find out the mental part until after it happens. It never fails. It always comes out that the person had possible mental issues after the massacre happens, after the mass shooting happens. That's a tough battle, man. It's gonna be tough. Now, y'all boys work in that school system, and y'all got to deal with not only disgruntled parents, you got to deal with kids that may have an issue. Y'all got a heck of a job, bro. That's a tough gig on anybody, man. Especially nowadays.
Yeah, the gun control piece is going to be an issue. That's going to be, not trying to take away Second Amendment rights, but at least bump up the age minimum to a weapon to about 21. Stricter background checks. Of course, this is going to be part of state legislation, which goes back to, depending on what state you're in, if you're in the Bible Belt, that's going to be a difficult thing to do. But the mental health piece, a lot of this before COVID, some of this after COVID, doesn't matter. What can we do? What can school systems and state legislations do now to provide those resources for parents that possibly cannot afford to take their child to a psychiatrist, or the EAP system doesn't work like it should, where you only get 8 sessions that are free, and then you have to pay $80 per session. I know. What about staff members who have dealt with the school shooting, or when a student brings a painted toy gun and a security SRO is saying to administrator, I was this close from pulling my weapon. If he would have pulled that gun out, I had no choice but to take him out, and it would have been a justified kill. All because you want to bring a toy gun to school. A lot of this deals with and starts with state legislation. And unfortunately, we have a Republican House and a Democratic Senate where we know nothing's going to get done. But what districts can do are those things. What can be done is making sure that we have enough people in place that have some type of de-escalation training. We're just dealing with that piece of it. But at the same time, it needs to go back to educating parents on what are the signs of depression, suicide ideation, a whole bunch of different things that can start from there. If it's bullying, what does bullying look like from all four levels of emotional, physical, verbal, so forth and so on? A lot of this stuff, but at the beginning and the crux and the genesis of all of this starts with state legislation and your local governments. Making sure that if your district is going to needs to know how much of a need this is. Parents need to start advocating. We can only do so much. Am I right, Horatio and Mike? We as educators can only say so much and do so much that the parents need to step in the gap for us and stand up and say, we need these things. We need them available. What are you going to do? Especially with jobs now, where, like I said, with EAP system, it's a great system to have you doing with short-term counseling or something like family ties, where they come in and just, let's talk to the students in the building. For us in Henry County, we have family ties. That's a free service for parents. What other things are available for parents that don't have access to it right then and there? This is going to be an ongoing problem going forward. This would be a great topic to broach for any school district, for parents to go to a board meeting and try to say and keep rattling the sabers to make sure that this stuff gets done and make sure that these things are viable for our parents. And it's tough right now, especially with the pandemic. I know I'm going long, and I apologize for that. I don't like to talk long, but this is something that we got to talk about. Pandemic started 3 years ago. We not only had academic deficits, we also had social and emotional deficits. We got kids that were at home for at least a year and a half, trying to teach themselves while parents are trying to work, or parents were at home trying to work. And you go back years before that, we got kids staying with grandparents because the parents weren't in the picture, or the parents are working, or they're being raised by their brother, an older brother or sibling, older brother and sister, because their parents died, or their parents are out of the picture or in jail or not in the picture, whatever. So this is not just a pandemic issue. This is a long time issue. And the only way we could get this done is through some type of form of state legislation or parents stepping in the gap and really making a voice being heard to, these are the things we need. We can't afford this. We need this now.
Babe, can I interject?
You go ahead. Go right on ahead, Shot.
So, and this is not at you, but you said that because of the, primarily because of the pandemic, we were dealing with social emotional issues. You had grandparents, raising kids from, parents not being there, things of that nature. You said that, right?
That's right.
You're not wrong.
I'm also saying there also wasn't a pandemic issue with the shooting. This also goes back before that too. I'm just talking about the present, what we're dealing with within the last 3 years. But this is a right. Before and after. That's what I'm saying.
No. And I'm not disagreeing with you. The only thing I'm gonna say is, hasn't people of color been going through that? As far as I know, my grandma damn near raised me. Like all my friends, the people I know, were pretty much raised by grandparents, and I'm not saying that's right. That is part of my black thought. But the stuff that you're saying, and I know you know this, I'm just saying, and I know all y'all know this because we are people of color and you got friends. But I didn't know too many two-parent households. Well, unless when you say two-parent, I meant mom and dad. I know a whole lot of grandmas and aunties and mama stayed in the same house. Haven't we been going through this for the longest? Haven't people of color been dealing with some of these issues that other people are now experiencing? How many of y'all lost a friend to gun violence before you got to high school? Say I.
In high school, not before high school, in high school.
No, I said before high school. I wasn't even talking about in high school. Like, and don't get me wrong, and this is why I applaud, my people of color, because, my favorite word in the whole dictionary is perseverance, because we've done that. So when you say, when does it change? It's because it doesn't change until the unaffected become affected. Well, when does that happen? I hate to say it. When did we start talking about mental health and rehabilitation with drug abuse? When it stopped being in the inner city and it started going out to the suburbs, then we wanted to start talking about rehabilitation as opposed to locking people up. And this gun control, these laws, in my opinion, will change when, unfortunately, it hits home. And that's all I can say for obvious reasons. When it hits home, that's when change will come. And so far, it hasn't hit home.
Can't argue with that. That's true.
This is going to be a topic, of course. We're not speaking that it's going to be another incident with the school shooting or another mass shooting. Like we said, it's going to be a win. And, of course, as Sport Valley Boys, we're going to be a topic we're going to talk about because, you know, we're more than just sports. Like I said, we're more than just talk about basketball, football. We talk about hockey, baseball, school shootings, black things, everything that has to do with the culture and our culture. And this is going to be a hard pivot, but going from shots and from guns, we're going to go to missed shots from the Celtics, which
I like that. That was good, Fave. That was good.
Hey, great interlude, Faye. That was pretty good. Great bridge. Great bridge right there.
Thank you.
That was Stephen A-ish.
Yeah, that was
better than Stephen A. That's better than Stephen A.
That was good, Faye.
That's better than Stephen A. Going from shots fired to shots that were misfired from the Boston Celtics, who lost by almost 20 against Shots Heat. This is the first time, and this is the third time Boston has lost a game 7 at home within the last 23 years. Of course, they lost to Orlando in 2009 in the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. And then, of course, game 7 in 2018 against LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Anatole, I know you're a shots producer. Verify me on that. I think I'm correct on that. So, therefore, I don't need a producer, but I just need you to just fact check me just a little bit on that. Besides Joe Mazzulla, Mike, I'm gonna go around the horn. Gonna be real quick because I want to get to the Nuggets who's gonna have their hands full with this series. Who do you blame in this? Blame Pie. Who gets the most blame for why Boston couldn't pull it off?
You said who do I blame?
Yeah, who you blame?
I blame the Heat for beating their ass. That's who I blame. I mean, it wasn't nothing necessarily on the coaching front. I mean, going into that game, the Heat had pretty much dominated that series. Of course, you know they won 3 games, and I blame the Heat. Now, I will say this: the game may have been a little different if Jason Tatum don't get hurt first possession. But at the end of the day, it just goes down to simply Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the playoffs. And Eric Spoelstra just outcoached Joe Mazzulla in this playoffs. He's a veteran coach, so it would have been expected to switch up to that zone defense like he did, man, and just totally take Boston out of that game. And I just want to applaud the Heat organization. There's no other organization in the league, or there's no other organization that I've known basketball-wise to have 4 dudes in their rotation that wasn't drafted, or that wasn't, that either one drafted or you got D2 dudes. Gabe Vincent is a D2 guy. Strus is a D2 guy. Duncan Robinson was a Division III dude before he went to Michigan.
Hold on,
so
Max Strus went to DePaul. Max Strus went to DePaul. That's Division I last time I checked.
But he dropped down too, I thought. No, they got several D2 players on that team, on that roster. If I got Max Strus wrong, they got a couple more guys on undrafted guys or whatever. But the point is that
they got 7 undrafted players on the team right now.
The front office of the Miami Heat, the scouting, the player evaluation, man, you can't automatically look at this series coming up and say Denver finna beat them. Because guess what? That's what we thought with Milwaukee. That's what we thought with the Knicks. That's what we thought with Boston. So that's my take on it. But I don't necessarily blame nobody with Boston. Just the Heat
he got out. Eric Spoelstra is the best coach.
Tony Damon then closed out with shot.
I think you muted, Tony.
Appreciate that, D. I think Boston just dug themselves in too big of a hole, man. No, it was nobody's ever came back from 3-0 down for a reason. So no, I think that was part of it. But first and foremost, I definitely want to congratulate Miami. I don't want to take nothing away from them. So, I definitely don't want to get on here as I love to, start talking a lot of loser language. But there's definitely was a very, very, very nearly impossible task for them to accomplish by them coming back from 3-0 down. And it definitely didn't help the fact that Tatum got hurt first play of the game. I mean, the way the Miami looked that night, I don't know if that would have made a difference as far as the outcome of the game, but it definitely would have been a better game. Jaylen Brown, he dropped the ball though.
8 turnovers.
Horrible game in the game 7 when they needed him the most. We're talking about giving that man $295 or something, but neither here nor there. What can you do? That's one of them situations. Like, really, what can you do? But yeah, shout out to Miami, man. Love Spo, great coach. Definitely the best, if not one of the best in the league. That's other debate. Some people say Pop, but definitely love Spo, man. That definitely does a great job. And as Atwater brought up, they scouting department, on top of the coaching and everything, man, is awesome. It's A1.
Man, you got to just give mad props to the Boston. I mean, not Boston. The Miami Heat organization. Tony pretty much said what I was gonna say as far as Boston digging themselves in a 0-3 hole. They fought hard to get 3-3, and I think it may have been they were drained. And Miami, to me, is the superior team. They play impeccable defense. Spoelstra played chess and not checkers. He made the great in-game adjustments, timeout adjustments, and the players wanted it. It seemed the players wanted it more. Yes, Tatum got hurt. That was a big blow. At the same time, Miami really did want it. Miami wanted it. They wanted to come out and prove that they were the better team. And you got to give Pat Riley credit. He is a championship coach. He's a championship general manager, president, and the scouting department did their job with these players. What went wrong is the Miami Heat. That's what went wrong. That was the blame, the Miami Heat in all facets of the game.
That Mr. Miami down there, Mr. Miami, thoughts on your Heat about to head to Colorado?
So yeah, I blame Joe Mazzulla, and this doesn't mean I think he should get fired. But what you basically had was a rookie head coach going up, in my opinion, arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time. So you go back to the writing on the wall. Eric Spoelstra tinkered with this lineup over 30-some times during the regular season. Boston has a better roster from top to bottom on paper, talent-wise. Not even on paper, talent-wise. Jason Tatum is that dude. Is that guy. Marcus Smart is a dome. But when who was that dying?
AD, take it. Mike, you need some of this right here. Mike, you take a shot of this right
Do
here.
you have a life alert chain on? Like, you need to push the button.
Oh man, somebody spray some damn air freshener in this shit, man. I'm good.
Hey, you need a shot of this, Mike. You need a shot of this.
You talking about who
Yeah, I
got
need a shot of it.
man? Oh,
Go ahead, shot.
Come on, go ahead, shot. You better check on Mike.
Mike, eat straight. Go ahead. Go ahead, finish up.
Okay. All right, don't say he's straight face. Just say we don't care. Cause he ain't straight. But anyway,
man. I don't know why we deal with dudes sometimes, bro.
yeah, I just think that Missoula was in a bad situation, man. You went up against, like I said, arguably one of the greatest coaches to coach, in my opinion. And that just happened. Like, he was not able to match Spoelstra's adjustments with his own adjustments. I mean, we can go deep, and yeah, Pat Riley, and I'm gonna give Jimmy Butler some credit because, like the Tim Duncans and the Tom Brady's and the Magic Johnsons, you can't have lead with the iron fist unless your star player is willing to be coached hard. And Jimmy Butler allows Spoelstra to coach him hard, which means the other one's got to fall in line, and that's that Heat culture. So, I blame Joe Mazzulla, but not the fact that he should be fired. He was just a young guy going up against an old savvy veteran.
Yeah, same thing with Darvin Ham. He was rookie coach going against somebody like Mike Malone, who's a vet who made it to a conference final. And let me go ahead and give for the adversity that Joe Mazzulla dealt with. He wasn't on the main bench last year as an assistant. He was in the second row. The Joker was in the second row.
He was at the kiddie table.
To the kiddie table, yeah. And Will Hardy, if he would have taken the job in Utah, he would have been Ime Udoka's replacement, which goes to my portion, my blame pie. 25% of the blame goes to Ime Udoka. Shouldn't have got fired. He would have got fired. Y'all won the title this year. 30% go to Joe Mazzulla because your stupid ass don't want to use timeouts. And the rest of it go to Jaylen Brown, who still ain't fixed his handles from last year in the finals.
Part of the problem for Jaylen Brown that Boston, I think, need to address. Boston need to figure out about trying to get a true point guard. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart is not a true point guard. They need to get a point guard in there to help with the ball handling for Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart and all them kind of guys. So
I gave you a trade.
What you mean?
Damian Lillard.
For Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. Get both of them out of there. You got Malcolm Brogdon for another 2 years. So you got a back.
Let me say this about Boston and all this trade speculation with Jaylen Brown. I think Boston, Phoenix, Philly, the Clippers, Atlanta, those are teams that have kind of hit their ceiling. They're kind of maxed out in a sense. But with Boston, with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, arguably, you could arguably say that's one of the top 2 or 3 tandems in the NBA. I don't think I would give Jaylen Brown up yet. Now, I would make some changes to Boston's roster, but I don't know if I'm willing to give up Jaylen Brown just yet. Jaylen Brown, 25, 26 years old?
He's 26.
Tatum, 23, 24 years old?
Tatum's 25, Brown's 26.
Nah, I'm not giving them up yet. And you got to look at something, too. Most guys, when they win that championship, they ain't but 26, 27 themselves. I don't think Michael won his first one until like 8, 9 years in the league. He was 27, 28 years old. Steph Curry didn't win one till
he's 27.
So, hey, they ain't even hit that mark yet. I wouldn't break that team up just yet. They've hit their ceiling, but I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown. I'm not.
So, before everybody else jump in, so what you're saying is you're willing to pay $600 million to 2 guys on the team that can't win the finals in a couple years and take the hit.
They haven't got to the finals yet.
They haven't won the finals yet. Not get to. They went to the finals last year and went to bed. Win the finals. You're willing to pay $600 million to guys because Tatum's gonna be up for extension in a year and a half, 2 years. Brown could get the
I,
extension right now.
I'm making changes to that team, but I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is a 2-3 time All-Star. He was second or third team All NBA this year. They done been to 5 consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown. And I think this year Jaylen Brown probably averaged 26, 27 a game. I'm just assuming.
He averaged 26. Tatum averaged 30.
Tatum averaged like 30 something, didn't he?
Yeah, Tatum averaged 30, but there ain't been no 5 consecutive Eastern Conference Final though. They went to 3 in the last 4 years, but not 5 consecutive.
So, Mike, who would you, if you're keeping Jaylen, when you say you'll make changes, what would be your change? What would be the first thing you would want to do? Is Marcus Smart?
I got to get me a point guard in Boston. I got to get me a point guard. I've got to get a point guard, and I've got to figure something out about Robert Williams. I've got to get more interior scoring. If Robert Williams ain't going to give me no interior scoring, then I need to figure out something in the paint. But I got to get me a point guard, and I got to figure out something as far as my post position. Because I'm expecting Robert Williams, like he was a lottery pick, I'm expecting him to develop offensively, and he just ain't developing offensively. So I need to look at what he would do. Now, would y'all do this trade? Would you give Chris Paul and Aiden for Horford and Jaylen Brown?
Nope.
Okay.
I do Cat for Jaylen Brown.
I mean, if I was Boston, yes. If I was Phoenix, hell no.
Yeah, I'm not doing no trade that involve if I'm the GM of taking Chris Paul.
Mm-mm.
And I'm a huge Chris Paul fan, but when it's over, it's over.
Would y'all go straight up Trae Young for Jaylen Brown?
Let me add this. Let me say this, please.
No, sir.
I would keep Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And again, I'm not trying to pound on Joe Mazzulla because I don't know the guy, and he was thrust into a situation. I personally believe that the best person to coach the Boston Celtics right now is any one of the assistants for Golden State. You got to get somebody in there that knows how to deal with 2 top 15, 25 players. They need a system where they can move the ball a la Golden State. So whoever is working with Steve Kerr to implement that system, pluck his behind from that team and make him the head coach.
You got to get a Draymond Green too then.
Listen, the blueprint is there. You Draymond Green, Udonis Haslem, you got it. Listen, Jason Tatum is a top 5 player in the league. You can't just trade Jaylen Brown and get value for him. It's not that simple. But you do need somebody that can figure out a way to work them guys into a system where both of them can thrive. Put Jaylen Brown in situations where he ain't got to go left and do all that extra stuff. You gotta put these guys in the right position. That's why I said I blame Joe Mazzulla. Again, not his fault, but Jason Tatum can do whatever the hell you want him to do. You got to find a role for Jaylen Brown to be more successful and then let Jason Tatum just be Jason Tatum. But that stand around and watch this guy go and then watch this guy go, that's not working. It didn't work.
That's what I'm saying, you shot. In order for that to work, you got to get you in order for Steph and Clay to be efficient as they are, you got to get you a Draymond Green. So whoever that Draymond Green would be for Jaylen Brown and Tatum, I don't know. But the system working in Golden State is everybody feed off Draymond. That's what you got to get.
But like you just said, they got Robert Williams. Again, we going to coaching and structure. Hey, Robert Williams, I no longer need you to score whatever. I need you to, here's your role. Play your role. Here is the system. Here's how you fit in the system. And you go from there. They got the pieces in place. They need somebody to orchestrate it. Eric Spoelstra, Mike Malone, the two coaches that's in the NBA Finals. If any one of those two guys was coaching Boston, Boston would be in the NBA Finals.
Which is why I say 25% of the blame goes to Ime Udoka for getting fired.
No, because he didn't do nothing basketball wise to get fired.
Exactly.
Right. He should have never did it not to get fired.
Hey, we getting in the personal stuff.
Man, stop. Man,
Chill out,
stop,
Fade, man.
man.
Chill out, man. Chill out.
The only assistant coach that has head coach experience is Kenny Atkinson from Golden State. That will be the top. That's Steve Kerr's.
That would be a good fit, though.
That would be a good fit. What do y'all think about Frank Vogel being on the bench as far as giving him experience as a head coach next year? Frank Vogel.
Listen, man. Like I said,
They get being on whose bench? You talking about the Missouri?
Yeah, just
They
as
help him out?
somebody with experience as a head coach to give him that, just to give him beat in his ear. I ain't say be the head coach, but just somebody.
Frank Vogel, no, because that's not the issue. No, I'm with. I mean, the defensive strategy and all that is there. Boston's solid on defense, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the issue. No, I'm with shot. No, it's the ball movement, man. They do a lot of ISO 1-on-1. It's my turn to go get it. Then okay, now it's your turn to go get it. They need ball movement to open that thing up.
The Boston Celtics kind of resemble what the Atlanta Hawks used to look like with Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, them boys. ISO basketball. And they actually got an AAU team. We played them last weekend. It's called ISO Joe. They're from Arkansas. They got an AAU team named after that dude, too.
Yeah, think about it. That was his nickname. But to go back to what you said, Fade, and again, I think whoever Golden State's assistant should be the coach because he knows the system. And I think his assistant coach, and I'm just throwing out names, because like I said, it should be somebody that you trust. Andre Iguodala. Go get him. Be your assistant coach, somebody you trust, somebody that knows the system. These finals are going to prove and show that coaching does matter. Like I said, these two coaches are two of the top 4 longest tenured coaches in the league. Stop recycling these guys. Coaching matters.
Yeah, Ron Adams is another top assistant too with Steve Kerr. Ron Adams should have been the head coach also. Ron Adams been there for a minute. Let's get to some predictions on this series. Shot, I know you're going Miami in 6. Biscayne Bay gonna celebrate. Am I right?
Hell yeah, but that's the emotion talking.
That's the liquor. That's the liquor kicking in.
That's the emotion. Like, listen, the Heat, in my opinion, the Heat got to the finals because I keep saying this. Spo is one of the greatest coaches of all time. The guy he's about to coach up against, he's a damn good coach himself. He been with his team for 10 years. They got their own coach over there in Denver with some guys that's homegrown that they scouting department, found the Jamal Murray's, this big kid from Serbia that might be the most skilled player to ever play the game. All those guys are homegrown. Mike Malone knows exactly what the hell he doing over there. He carved the Lakers up with his own coaching style. Oh, y'all want to do this? Boom, I got something for that. Oh, y'all think y'all gonna make an adjustment for game 2? Boom, I got something for that. So it ain't finna be just head and shoulders the best coaching in the series this time, and they got the best player. So if I'm just keeping money,
Faye, what you got going on, bro?
Yeah, because that pose is something special there.
No, that boy.
This is why I hate being on my phone. Hey, Tony, I knew it was some feedback coming from somewhere, and I say, man, Faye got the burner account on here.
Hey, man. Faye done got there duplicated himself, boy. Faye was up there twice.
Artificial
Faye was up there
intelligence.
twice. Different angles and everything.
But yeah, man, obviously I got Heat in 6 or 7 because I'm a homer. But I'm gonna tell you, man, that Mike Malone is one of the best, in the game right now. And Jokic, y'all know how I feel about him. It's gonna be tough. If anybody could do it, it's the Heat. I ain't crazy.
They'll get y'all pick. They'll get y'all picks real quick. Damon.
Man, I think it's gonna go 7. I do. I just think the X factor is if he starts off to where he's having his way in all facets of his game, rebounding, scoring, and passing, it's gonna be a long series for Miami. I do believe though, Miami do have the dogs and they play such great team defense. It's gonna come down to coaching, of course, but I'm gonna say, and I really do think Miami can do it. I'm gonna say Denver in 7 though, because this is the one team really that could give Denver problems. Kind of remind me how they play as a team as the 04 Pistons, team wise, how they play together. They got such a great chemistry playing together, and that got a lot to do with Spoelstra and his style and how he's coaching them boys. But it's Jamal Murray and the Joker, man. That guy scares me. He scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, y'all missed that quick flex on the screen. Y'all just missed that quick flex. Tony, your prediction.
I got Denver in 6, man. Sorry, Shaq. But
I feel you.
I think I think Miami's definitely gonna be formidable. I think Spo would definitely have a solid game plan, and will kind of give Denver some problems, especially early in the series because Denver been kind of sitting around. So, but yeah, I mean, I got Denver in 6, man. I'm a Mike Malone fan, man. He's definitely won me over. He may be one of my favorite coaches in the NBA right now. Great coach. Definitely interested to see the coaching matchup, and see, what the boys can come up with and what kind of who's quicker to make the adjustments that they need to make. But yeah, I mean, but I got Denver in 6.
Hey,
Michael, then
real quick,
yeah,
real quick, just quick question. When was the last time we talked about a basketball game, especially a finals, and we talked about coaching matchups?
Man,
It's been a
I
minute.
know, right?
When was the last time that's happened?
It's
Like
been
I
a
say,
minute.
man, shout out to those guys in both organizations for sticking with their coaches and implementing their own culture.
yeah, Mike, your pick.
I I think if anybody can control or contain Jokic, it's Eric Spoelstra in Miami. I got Miami winning the series in 7. I think Miami's going to go in there tomorrow and win game 1 simply for the fact that Denver has been off damn near 2 weeks. Last time they played like last Monday or something, last Tuesday. So they've been off a good little while. Spoelstra is going to throw some different things at Jokic. You're going to see a little bit more Kevin Love this series. You're going to see a little bit more of Cody Zeller. They're gonna execute them files or whatever they got on Denver. If anybody can do this, it's the Eric Spoelstra Miami and Jimmy Butler with those guys. And I say this, man, 2 things. Number 1, this probably is going to be one of the least watched finals in NBA history. For the simple fact, you got an 8 seed in Miami and Denver. You don't have marquee names. Basketball fans like us, we're going to watch this, but this is not going to be one of those Golden State against Cleveland, Lakers against Boston. So the ratings for this series probably going to be bad. Second point that I'm going to make about this series, if Miami win this has got to be one of the most improbable trips and winning a championship ever. Like when you think of Cinderella stories, you got to go back to think of Danny Manning in Kansas. I mean, I can't think of the most Cinderella story. The Giants that Super Bowl year when New England was undefeated. If they can pull this off, man, they need a 30 for 30 documentary. They definitely do. But I think with strictly off of Eric Spoelstra, I think Miami can win in 7 because none of these guys from Denver have been here before.
That Fort Valley team in '98, they won the SIAC.
Man, God, man.
Hey, didn't that Houston team one day 8 seed? The Rockets.
There was a 6 seed in '95. There was a
95. There was a 6 seed. Okay.
It's only been Miami is the first 8 seed to play a full season and go to the finals. The other team was the Knicks in that abbreviation.
Hallmark dog.
Yeah.
Hey man,
He scared me, man. His voice changed.
Y'all boy tripping, man.
Hey, I thought it was Jamar for a minute. His voice
shot
got
in the car section buying some damn birthday cards or something.
Yeah,
Right. It's graduation time, bro.
and he did get that. He did get that Barry White got in there too. His voice got real low.
Nah, I'm trying to be quiet, but I got a teacher. One of my teachers retiring. It's graduation time. Y'all know. Well, y'all out of school up there, ain't you?
Nah, Friday.
I'm out.
We out. The students out. I'm still working.
Yeah. I gotta get retirement and graduation cards and all that.
Expect to see a lot of Kevin Love, y'all. Expect to see Love.
Yeah, and Cody Zeller. That was a good call. You
got to throw bodies at them.
They got to throw some fouls at the Joker, bro. They got the squad to do it. It's just it's difficult to go against that young man, man. He been putting in work, man.
Do not be surprised if Udonis Haslem goes out playing in the finals this year. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if you see Udonis Haslem this series. Shot, you said your heart say the Heat in 6. What does your mind say?
My mind say Denver in 6. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but a lot of times, I think I be rooting. I don't root for teams no more. I root to be right on the show.
Yeah, we got to figure that. Yeah,
I feel you.
I
definitely feel you.
Right on the show.
Ain't nothing like bragging, right?
Facts.
Facts. Y'all did. Yeah, just like somebody on the show picked Georgia 2 years in a row for blowout, but it's neither here nor there. It's bragging right.
Hey man, you ain't no Jordan fan, bro.
And somebody on this show is the
fantasy football
defending champion in football and defending champion in the NCAA tournament. So I got y'all boys. Fuck with me.
Yeah, I'm a little salty about that though.
Yeah,
I got y'all boys.
Dead clocking right twice a day. But Tony did good though. Tony did good. But y'all didn't see that quick. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I had the Denver Nuggets and we folded against Yo V beat me. It wasn't even Tony. Yo V beat me.
Hey, that's right.
Tony beat me. He beat me on the way to the championship.
No, my fault. Tony beat me. Tony, I lost to Tony, didn't I?
I caught you.
Yeah, I beat Yo V, but Tony beat me. Yeah, I'm salty.
He said I'm salty. Yeah. I give you credit though. You got 2 franchises in the finals, bro. It's gotta be a parade sometime.
Oh yeah, like this about to be expensive. Like I gotta make sure my son get in the building for one game for each sport. We gotta be in the building. To me, this is what being a dad all about. Like I don't care what you're gonna be in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you're gonna be able to say, "Oh, I was in a finals game and I went to hockey final." Like, this is what you work for right here, to be able to take your kids and say, "Yo, you was in the building."
I'm with you on that, bro. Facts.
All right, let's hit up these parting shots. Damon, you up?
Hey man, I'm on the we're talking about mental health, but I'm talking about physical health today, man. I got a bad news from a real good friend of mine. lost. Well, we all grew up together. His girlfriend, we all grew up, went to high school together. She died in her sleep, fell into a diabetic coma, and I can't stress enough that we really need to take care of ourselves. You know, we as Black people really need to check up on our bodies. We need to check up on our minds. We need to stay on top of the game. Um, what we eat, you know, how we exercise, all that needs to be done in a way to where you can stay healthy. She was only 44 years old. You know, she left her kids here. Um, it's imperative that we really take care of ourselves. Go get a checkup. Ladies, go do what you need to do. Fellas, do what you need to do. Um, just to stay healthy, man. You get to live a long, healthy life because nowadays we losing. I done lost so many friends in the last 2 years that didn't even hit 45 and 50. It don't make sense, and a lot of it is because of health issues, heart attacks, and complications to diabetes, cancer, stuff like that. So we got to take care of ourselves, man. Life is too short, and we got to be able to enjoy every bit of it.
Oh, it's on me.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear nothing. Just see the camera just just zoomed in on me. Um, yeah, man, Scottie Pippen.
Oh
Come
man.
on,
Oh
come
man.
on,
Well, he took mine. I got some milk though.
Oh
come on,
man.
dude. Like, man, listen. I don't know. It's like this dude got a vendetta. No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. Family oriented. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think Mike got some. Mike got some low blows he can throw. But man, Scotty, man, dude, come on, man. Like this dude called arguably the greatest NBA player ever a horrible player. Didn't say that. No, I get it if you kind of trying to put it in context, which would be true. That Michael had to grow into, uh, being the great player that he was. That he had growing pains that he had to endure. Every great player has growing pains that they had to endure. But Mike was never a horrible player, dude. Like, stop, stop. It's like it's like I thought the beef had died down for quite a while. I think they had made amends, and then to my understanding, Pippen felt slighted about the Last Dance and how he was portrayed in the Last Dance. Uh, Even more so about the whole clip being in there, and I don't understand why he thought it wouldn't be in there because they asked some questions about it, and Pippen, gave his 2 cents about the situation where he refused to go on the floor, to take the last shot when they drew up the play for Kukoc in the playoffs against the Knicks. No, to my understanding, that supposedly pissed Pippen off, and he just didn't really like how he was portrayed in the Last Dance. But so this kind of then reignited, whatever this beef is and animosity that Pippen has, towards MJ. Salute to MJ for kind of taking the high road for the most part. No, I really don't see him responding, through media or anything like that. Anyway, to any of these slights and any of these comments, no, he really has no need to because, I mean, like I say, he's Mike. Uh, Not without question. One of the best players to ever do it and lace him up, and he's winning in life. So, man, people just stop though, man, because you really looking bad out here, man. You really looking bad out here, man. Just chill out, man. Go sip some of these. What's that liquor he had some tequila or something like that that he came out with? Huh?
I'll forget. I don't remember. I just know he's
Man,
crazy.
man, people just need to go sit down somewhere, man. Stop being a hater, man. Stop being a hater. Let that shit go, bro. Let that shit go. Stop being a hater, man. Cause you looking bad out here, man.
Real
Stop saying
bad.
all this out. Stop saying all this outlandish shit, man.
Michael.
You know who has been the most dominant sports team in America over the last 3-4 years? Is it the Georgia Bulldogs? Nope. Is it the Golden State Warriors? Nope. Is it the LA Rams, Philadelphia Eagles? No. The most dominant sports team in America over the last 3-4 years has been the Oklahoma Lady Sooners softball team. They have won 49 straight games, and they're on their way as they get ready for the College Softball World Series, trying to three-peat and be the first softball team in NCAA to three-peat since Stanford in the early 2000s. That's one of the reasons I will be watching the College World Series that I think starts tomorrow or Friday. So shout out to the Oklahoma, the Lady Sooners. See if they can keep that winning streak going.
Now we got a Black Thought brought to you by Hennessy and Coke.
So like I said earlier, I was in the store getting stuff.
Can't hear you, shot.
Like I said before, I was getting stuff for graduation. And this time of the year, everybody should be happy when your kid is moving on. I'm about to go in a bad area, so I might lose y'all. But anyway, unfortunately, since 1961, when we had the Brown versus the Board of Education, where we fought against segregation in schools, Black America still have a very, very low graduation rate. And I just want to be one of the ones to say that our generation, that's everybody that's on here, because it's our kids that are the ones that are in high school right now graduating, and some of them even graduating college, for some of y'all that started early. Took advantage of the visitation in the dorms. But I digress. We failed. We still, to this day in 2023, we still have the lowest graduation rate of any ethnic group in the country. We're failing our kids. We're not being involved. We're not being vocal. When we come to the school, we want to come to the school to check people. We on social media posting stuff about this and this and that, but we don't post, as my good friend McAdoo Wright would say, we don't never post port cards. Not report cards, but port cards. We don't never post that. There have been some parents in certain situations where you don't see them until it's time for prom, till it's time to argue what their child can wear at prom. Black families, Black parents, our peers, our classmates, we have got to do better. We put our kids at a disservice when we don't check on them and make sure that they're put in a position to succeed so that they can enhance the generation. Most valedictorians that get a speeches come from parents that push them to be valedictorians. We don't go to the school, but we show up at practice every day. We show up at the park every Saturday. We got to reprioritize, re-energize, remobilize, and rethink this situation. That's my Black Thought.
And Shot, don't forget where they wait till the day after the end of the school year. Check on grades, like what my child failing. Don't forget that one.
Yeah,
Don't
man,
forget that
we
one.
should probably do something. Add 20 minutes to that next segment, man. We got kids about to walk across the stage that still can't read. Like, it's been 35, 40 years since Dexter Manley came on air. 40 years since Dexter Manley, and we still got people walking across the stage that can't read. And they look like us. They look like us.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be need to be on top of that weed right now. Um, as you know, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless had a fight earlier this year about Damar Hamlin and an issue with his rings versus Tom Brady and Skip Bayless. Now this has come to a head that Shannon Sharp has been bought out of his contract and his time at Undisputed will end after the finals conclude.
Really? I didn't know that.
I sent the article to you guys about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. That with the rise of Shannon and Club Shay Shay, I could see time for his time for Undisputed to lead, maybe 2-3 more years. I did not expect this to happen now. Now some folks are speculating him and Stephen A. Smith need to get together. No. Don't even do it, Shannon. Don't even do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Club Shay Shay gonna make money on YouTube. You good. Not the undisputed money. No, not the undisputed money. I agree, but don't go on there with Stephen A. Smith because you're gonna. No, just don't do it. Ask Max Kellerman. You're gonna be a Stephen A. net book if you go on there. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna be a Stephen A. net book.
Hey, I'm just hearing about this. I mean, I know you sent the thing, but now I gotta go read that.
Yeah, yeah, that shocked me. I gave about another 2 years, but he said, you know what? I guess it got to a point where he just couldn't take Skip no more. And Skip, good. I mean, think about it. Skip has this is his retirement plan when he went to Fox. But I just feel bad for. I don't feel bad for Shannon. He did what he had to do. I understand, but Skip, the writings on the wall, dog. Nobody want to do a show with you. Maybe Rob Parker, Jinx. Jinx will do the show with you. Get some tenders. Talk about the hotel and some tenders.
Can't stand Fabian Vicks, man.
I know I can't stand me either, man.
God almighty.
Me 98. I got that one move. I keep showing on Facebook. I driven out the middle of the court, fake left, turn back around, fade away.
There you go. There you go. Fade need to quit, man.
Barbecue chicken tenders.
Fade need to quit.
I hate LeBron James, but yeah, I'm from the same town he from, with same circumstances, but I hate him. That's our show for tonight. We're gonna have reconvene on Sunday evening. We might get to Boys in the Hood as a movie review. I gotta find to see where it's at, so I'll make sure I don't have to pay for it. We out.
Y'all boys be good.